work down our way to the down the line because we have Miss Karina Dykes, and we also have Mr. Aggressive. Did I say it right? I want to make sure I'm saying it right.
Awesome.
Okay. Hello, my name is Pastor Shonda Williams, and my overall business is called Prima Donna.
Yes. Hello, my name is Karina Dykes. Hello, my name is
All right, and so I'm going to ask each of you to tell us more about your businesses as we get our mic transfers to make sure they all work correctly for all of us. I'm going to ask each of you to tell us more about your business, and in telling us about your business, you can also share what made you start your business, whether it was a personal life experience or something that God laid upon your heart, or it was something that you desired as a child, whatever caused you to birth your vision in which you are beginning and growing at this time.
So as a young girl, my father actually was an entrepreneur himself. And so it was instilled in me as young as 10. My father was in the real estate business, and 10 years old, 12 years old, I can remember going and collecting rent for him, filling out receipts, coming back and letting him know that, there were things in the houses that needed to be fixed and all of those things. And then even, being bold enough to speak to the tenants and say to them, that you're short. This is short $15.
Wow.
I need you, just because I came, you need to get the $15. But I can remember that as a child. And so as I grew up, my father always instilled in us that it's not that you can't have what you desire to have, you just need to have a stream of income for it.
Wow.
And so every time it was something that I wanted, he instilled in us to go to an auction and gather things and sell those things in order to get what we wanted. And so that just matured into me as an adult, and knowing that there were things in ministry that I wanted to happen, and I didn't want to have to be dependent on others for me to do ministry. And so I started to do some things and to open up some businesses, and that just transferred into some partnerships even with my son. And so I'm excited about the businesses. I have a couple businesses. I have real estate, I have motivational speaking, consulting, brand consulting, a t-shirt line, and a musical arts where we also supply musicians for those who are in need of musicians.
Again, my name is Katie, the Extension, and what I do is I help visionaries move from where they are to where they're going. A lot of times we know where we are, we know where we want to go, we get stuck in the middle. We don't know how to maneuver in the middle. And so I come as a strategist to literally help you unscramble the pieces. Was something that I always do, coach to people, mentor to people, but I didn't really have a desire to do it. Again, I just wanted to teach, and I didn't even really have like an emphasis on what I wanted to do. I just wanted to teach, but my background actually started out in homelessness advocacy. I graduated with my degree in human services and social work, and so my passion were for the people, that population. And so I advocated on behalf of the homeless population for so long. I worked with several homeless shelters in Columbia, South Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina, transitional houses, and then I opened up my own in 2014 called Lighthouse, a homeless shelter for women with children. And so I did that, and to this day, it's still something that I do, but it was through my obedience to the Lord concerning that He opened up this door. One of my largest roles and responsibilities there was to show up and advocate on behalf of the homeless population. Hey, this is who I am, this is what I do, this is what we need for them, And so I was that face and that voice. I was that liaison that would go out and spend time with the people that didn't have, and then go talk to the people who did have. And I would go to them, because you got the money, you got the resources, you got the vans, you got the buses. Go to them and say, hey, I got a group of people here, this is what they need, and this is what we need to buy. Now I'm going to come pick it up, be all right. And so it started there. And so the more I decided would be to make people open. I've always been doing this just for a different population. So then advocating on behalf of the homeless population, now advocating on behalf of visionaries.
My business is Paparazzi Accessories, and it's $5 jewelry. I'm an independent consultant for the company. And the reason why I started my business, I've been going through a lot of change and transition in my life. And I decided a couple years ago that I wanted to be financially fit. I needed to get my finances together. And if I wanted God to bless me financially, I needed to do something to show that I was worthy of it. And so I was seeking another stream of income. And I came across this jewelry business. And so I stepped on my faith because I am not a person who goes out and sells things at all. But I can tell you that the will of God is on my life, and since I've been selling this jewelry, it has just taken me places. It has taken me out of my comfort zone. I have met people. Every time I present my jewelry, it makes money, and it's always there for me right on time. Anytime I was in a place where I felt that I needed a little bit of extra, somebody was coming to me. I didn't even have to see customers; they come to me. And through it all, it is definitely just strengthened me financially, where now I'm in a place where I don't need anymore. I'm in a place that I've never been before, where I have surplus and I have extra, and God has continued to bless me with that. And I have a vision now to start a new company, so look out for that coming soon, Sada Accessories and Clothing. And in that company, I will be selling journals and daily devotion items for women and for children that will just basically inspire you, teach you what I've learned over the years, the things that have helped me to just share what God has given me and the vision that He has in my life.
Thank you, ladies, for sharing all of your endeavors and your visions and businesses that you're beginning. One thing that I have realized, me myself, starting and then get back to, this is going to transition to the question that I need to ask. My podcast turns 5 years old this year. So, praise God. Praise God. But one thing I have learned in building a platform or building any business is that there's a level of sacrifice to building your business. And then sometimes it's something that people may see, and sometimes it may be something that you yourself have to go through that nobody actually knows what you're doing in the forefront to produce and to make it happen. So I want all of you ladies to share within growing your businesses, and you can also share even whether it was an experience that caused it to be some sacrifice, or if the business itself was a sacrifice in growing it and producing the vision that's been put inside of you. So I'm actually going to say, so we can start with Paris, I'm going to let Mr. Glasson start, and we can down the line.
Okay, so it has been a sacrifice for me because one thing about my business and most businesses, it takes money to make money.
Right.
And so I had to step out on faith and invest money like never before, and just trust that God was going to bless me. And once I did that, and I did it purely, the blessing has just been overflow blessing because of the sacrifice that I chose to make in investing my own money to get started.
Yeah, so great sacrifices, because I really don't clock in for nobody, praise the Lord Jesus. And while that's a goal or a dream for a lot of people, it's a lot that comes with it. You know, you don't work, you don't eat, literally. My assignment tomorrow. And so that's a sacrifice in itself. Other times, no, I can't go on this trip. Why? Because your light's gonna be off when you get back and you go.
Right,
You know what I'm saying? Because again, and it's not to say that it doesn't make good money, but there is no automatic, you're gonna get this amount of money on the 1st and the 15th. What you can only get back in what you put out. So it takes a lot of sacrifice in that I have to continue to strategically build it until it can run itself. And so my goal is to continue to, I've established a systematic flow, but the goal is to continue to build it so that even when I'm sleeping, my cash out, my PayPal, my bank account is going off, so that I don't necessarily have to work so hard if I don't want to, you know, but every day is a sacrifice. Every day. Every day.
I think both of them is in money. You know, when you are an entrepreneur, you're definitely sacrificing time and money. And especially if you have a family, you have to find a way to, you know, wake up early. You have to find a way to stay up late. And then you have to find money. You know, you just got to find money. You know, because there's money somewhere, but you just have to find it in your budget. You know, you have to find it. So I would say the greatest sacrifices are time and money. that you have that there's a family, so you have children, so you have a husband, and those things cannot get neglected. And I don't have the luxury of not being in a vocation, and so I have to make sure that servants are ready. I have to make sure that I'm people. Sick is being visited. So for me, it's really time and money that I have to make the greatest sacrifices.
Awesome. And so even with the results, because I want you all to share how long you even had, so that also sharing some of the things that you might have gone through. What results have you seen in making these sacrifices? What results have you seen, whether it was people resulting from receiving from your business, or even I realize that when you make that step of faith, that sometimes you don't automatically see results immediately. But over time, something or someone will cause for you to see that there's a purpose. And it almost confirms the moment of you saying yes to your vision. So do share with your time that you have had your business, what results have you seen or encountered or encountering as you speak?
So I was in school, and I had the parents that said, now you had it, now you raise them. So they weren't, just giving out money and doing all those things. So I had to finish school and put him in childcare. I had to finish school and, dress him in the Eton suits for Easter, because he was going to be cute. Somebody gave me a car, but I had to take the money to fix it, to get it painted. And so the greatest joy for me is to see all the businesses that my son has now. That's a blessing. The Bible says that her children rise up. The Bible says in Proverbs 31 that she gets up early and goes to work. And so my son saw me get up early and go to work. So he has his own businesses. My niece has her own businesses. And that was as a result of me seeing my parents get up and hustle. And then to be able to, I just have a problem with, people doing things, and then you got to have a GoFundMe account. You have to, if God gives you a vision, then he's going to give you provision. And some of it is what you have to do. And so it has always also been a blessing to be able to support my church in the endeavors that they do. So we do a lot of things with the neighborhood schools. We do a lot of things in our community, and I'm able to help my church to do a lot of the ministry that they're doing. So those two things, to be able to help my church and to be able to see my son, because this is a family business, and I think African Americans, are the only culture that does not go into family business. You see the Asian young people at the dry cleaners. You see the Jewish kid. You just see everybody else, and we leave our kids home. And then when something happens to us, they can't run it. They don't have the wherewithal. And so, and even my church is a family business. My son knows, like, your integrity makes people want to come here or not. And if you act up, then that speaks to me and this business that we're in. And so, to see my son really understand family work, family business, means a lot to me.
I think for me the greatest thing is development in my clients. One of the things that I always pray, even before I stand in front of whoever, is, Lord, I need you to do glory, number one, but I need the people to walk away with what you sent me to give them. And so the greatest joy for me, the results that I get to see through my clients, through my mentees, through my nieces, because I have 1,000 nieces. Some of them I don't know by name, but they just kind of come, and I just keep feeding them and they keep coming. But just to see them flourish, to see them develop. I tell them all the time, it's one thing to grow, that's good. But you can be a grown 35-year-old with a 6-year-old mind and not developing. So to see my clients' development and to actually move, because sometimes I go back and I review, okay, this is what daughter was when she started, but baby, if you look at her now. And so that's the thing for me that says, Katie, get out of the bed, honey, because there's somebody waiting on you. You got to keep doing this because God has called and created you and put you, strategically placed you in the earth to help develop his people. And so the greatest joy for me is, through my clients, seeing that through my clients.
For me, some of the biggest results that I have seen is just to be able to offer an opportunity to other women. I think many of us are often struggling and often looking for something that we can do, something that's easy to do, that is going out of a place of want and need and into a place of abundance. women to see me succeed and to want to do the same thing. And a lot of times they'll ask you, well, how much does it cost to do that? Well, how did you do it? How do you like it? How is it working for you? They're asking questions they're curious about. So I think it's like stirring up a curiosity in people so that they too may step out on faith and develop businesses of their own. And the other result that I'm seeing is being able to help others who are in need. Because I have been moved out of a place of struggle, that I have access now that when someone loses their job, I'm able to give them a little extra. If someone is short on something or they need something that they can't afford, I'm able to be there for them. So just to be able to just provide in places where I wasn't able to provide before.
And it's funny you said that when you started talking about being able to help people in places that you weren't able to help before. I know more recently in studying fails or like, let me try something else. And so something I want you all to share is within, because you said something before, but to share more about kind of the drive. Because what keeps driving you? No matter what problems come or what sacrifices come in, but they're willing to still be able to push so that they can give the money. Because it looks good to be able to bless somebody else. It feels good to be able to bless somebody else, but it takes work to get there. So if you can just share, that all of you don't have to share, but if one or two of you just want to share what keeps you driving.
What drives me is that I've always wanted to be a lender and not a borrower. And so that is what continues to drive me always, because I have to be able to do for myself in order to be able to do for others. And I had worked every day, both jobs, and I was at 6 o'clock in the morning and prepared. But knowing that getting out there and doing what I needed to do was going to bring in the income that I needed so that I can continue to be in this place that I am today going.
And I think they both said it, is that seeing other people, your influence reaches people that, sometimes you might not even know that it reached them until you see them somewhere or they DM you or something like that and say, because I'm a single mom. I was a single mom, and we're living in a generation where, kids are just not leaving home. Stay here forever, my goodness. But to see other women, we just had our first marketplace ministry at our church, and I wanted to make sure that everyone in our church knew the businesses that were in our church, and I didn't even realize when I got downstairs some of the people that were behind the table that had started their own businesses, and that platform. There was someone who was paparazzi, a young lady who does vegan food, and you can bring her anything that's meat or something, she'll make it vegan.
That's good.
But I just didn't realize that so many young ladies and young men were influenced by the legacy that's in that house of our church. And so to see other people start their businesses, I think we call it, in business, we call it the what's in it for me. That's what's in it for me, to see other people be influenced.
So I'm laughing because Minister Angela spoke this morning and she used it. And she used it talking about the story of Joseph. And we here at Winter Women, we have had conferences and we've had services related to our topic, and she talked about Joseph, and she talked about the fact that when the baker forgot about him, and she said, he's in the mindset of what's in it for me. And it's interesting because whenever you start a business, your clientele wants to know what's in it for me. Even me starting a podcast, I had to do topics that were relevant to people because they want to know, well, you want to share information that connects with their world. If you're going to share irrelevant information, that means that what you're doing is now irrelevant. And nobody's going to care or want to listen to what you're talking about. And so actually it was very interesting for you to share that because it's been relatable this morning. And your phrase you just mentioned is relatable to my last question. And then I'm not sure if it's that time or the battery life on many of our phones today, but I do want to open up the floor to anybody who wants to share at any moment, meaning want to ask a question. My last question, though, for the whole panel is related to the word legacy, as Pastor has just mentioned, as relating, what legacy do you want to leave behind? You mentioned it really, Pastor, in your opening answer, talking about with your father, the legacy he left behind for you. And so I did transcend that question to now, what legacy would you all like to leave behind for whether it's your family or even if it's for friends or even clients?
Well, for me, I'm huge on legacy because I believe that if there is not someone in the earth that knows what you know, then there will be no legacy when you leave the earth. My son, he's a championship game right now. It's probably over because I checked with his dad. They had 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter and they was 18. I pray this trophy coming home. But at the end of the day, he's an athlete. I have never bounced a ball a day in my life. I don't even know. I show up at all the games, but I don't play. And so Jay is an athlete. I'm not an athlete at all. Just as involved, even though he understands that this is not something that my mom is putting on me. But at the end of the day, I understood that it was, though I'm not making him take this and run with this prior to me leaving or when I leave, it's still my responsibility to put it in him in the event that I need him to run it until something gets established, somebody else gets in place. Woe unto the one who will not put in those that are coming behind you what's in you. Because then we'll never see you again once you leave the earth. Great legacy is exemplified when you leave. We know how well you set up the legacy once you leave. And now we have to, because at the end of the day, if she set things in place, if her church can't effectively run when she leaves, then that's not about who she left behind. That says something about her. Just like her parents. Like it's a legacy was lived because she's living it out. So it's apparent that what was done then was effective because she's able to live on with it. She's able to carry the legacy. So for me, it's imperative that my son understands who he is, what he's been called to do, but that he also has transferable skills that can come from the court to the classroom, from the classroom to the bank, from the bank to the shelter, so that you can run it all if you want to, but you don't have to. So for me, son, you gotta know it. I don't care. You gonna know it. You ain't got to run it, but you gonna know it. And because he has a heart for it, I never had to make him come to the shelter. I never had to make him serve. He's a servant at heart. He just does it in a different way. So for me, he got it. The people I'm leaving behind, like, I have to leave, like, I need y'all to keep building the people in there. Beyond whatever, I don't care what I was afforded to do, keep building the people.
The legacy that I would like to leave behind is the culture of independence for women. I think a lot of times that we're dependent on our jobs, we're dependent on other people, we don't depend on ourselves. And so I would like to just be able to encourage women to go out and seek what you can do. Everybody has a talent in them. Everybody has a gift in them. Everybody has a cell in them. You know, everybody has something that they can share with somebody else, and someone needs what you have.
Right.
And so, like, to just culture that in yourself and create some independence in your own life.
So for me, I have two sets. I have two sets. I have my biological family and I have my spiritual family. And so, but they come together. So in talking about legacy, my father, the building that I'm in, my father purchased for $29,000 in 1968. And so when he got finished purchasing that building, the realtor kept coming back to him saying, I have these buildings, and I know your mom, well, you all can understand, and anybody that's going through gentrification can hear what I'm saying. So the realtor kept coming back to my dad and said, listen, I have this house for $9,500. Do you want to get it? So my dad went to the church. He said, okay, there's a house for $9,500. Who wants to get it? And nobody wanted to get it. So he bought it. The realtor came back again. He said, I got another house for $6,500. Who wants to get it? He went to the church and said, who wants to get it? Nobody wanted to get it. 20 houses later.
Wow.
Nobody wanted to get the houses. Fast forward 40 years later, the church that I had that my father purchased for $35,000, I could easily sell at 25th and Thompson with no debt.
Wow.
I could easily sell, easily sell for $4 or $5 million. Easily. Because of gentrification. And the houses that my mother still has that nobody wanted to buy. And so I think at that point, the light went off for me that maybe the people just didn't understand. So I have a responsibility to make sure that the people get it this time. And so I had to make sure that United Missionary Baptist Church, that the people at that church understand that we're in the marketplace and we're in ministry. So we are here to win souls, and we're here to have money as a means of exchange to do ministry. Because it's nothing like pastoring broke people. You can't pastor broke people. And so I have to let my church understand that, you know, you have been placed in the earth to minister to people, to win souls, and for you to create legacy, and for you to, you know, bring people to Christ and to help them to be better individuals. Then on the flip side of that, I have to ensure that my family is set up. I have to make sure that my son is set up and that his mind is right, that he doesn't see the properties as a place where as soon as mama dies, I'm gonna sell them.
Right, absolutely.
Because that's what ends up happening in our community, that they don't see it as a tree and as roots and as we're planted here, and you have been given something to really for you to get to your children, because they'll always have a place to lay their head. You don't always want to have to be dependent on somebody to have shelter. You don't want to always have to, and so, you know, for me, when I date people, I have to tell them I got a house. I got more than one house, so you got to come better than that. My daddy left me a couple houses, and so it's important for me that my church members, that the Lord, and that's why, you know, I'm not asking God for a mega church, you know, because God, I am entrusted with some people, you know, and I don't want people just going out the back door, you know, and so I want to make sure that the people in my church are set up in my ministry, because I would rather have 20 millionaires.
Do you hear me? Just 20.
And a millionaire is not just one. You got to have 17 million in order to be a millionaire. You got to have 17 million to be qualified to be a millionaire, because a millionaire has $1 million house, and so you need 17 million to be a millionaire. And so I want my church to be set up, and I have 3 additional nieces and nephews, and I want them to be set up and to be successful as well.
Definitely. I just want to open the floor up, and we have talked about legacy, we talked about sacrifice, we have talked about drive, and we've talked about purpose. I believe I hit on all 4 of those things. So before that we end our conversation on this afternoon, if anyone wants to ask a question, if any have curiosity, this is the place to do it. We're the place where we have a heart for people who want to help.
And can I say this too? I grew up in a family where my father gave. I mean, he just gave. And I am becoming comfortable with putting a price on something.
Come on, Pastor.
I mean, something has got to cost you something. You know, it has to cost you something. I grew up, we never had a decent car because he never got anything. We had people living in our properties, and we had to get the sheriff. Literally the sheriff to put people out, you know. When my father passed, and my mother was 70-something. She was too old, you know, to be trying to go around and put people out and going back and forth downtown. And you got to go to the courts and everything. And so it's okay for you to know your worth and for people to pay for your wisdom. Your wisdom. I don't care if you teaching them how to bake cakes, because they gonna flip that and not even be as good as you, and gonna charge somebody $200 for a birthday cake that's horrible. And y'all in here know how to make cakes from scratch.
Eggs, butter, sugar.
Grown carrot, the good shredded carrots, the good walnuts. Okay, y'all make macaroni and cheese with good cheese. You put pounds of cheese in it. You hear what I'm saying? These kids, and I call them all the time. They start telling me how much baby, that ain't even good cheese. That's imitation kitchen crab. And you trying to charge me a couple $100 for a pan. If you don't go sit down somewhere,
Come on.
don't be afraid. And here's the thing, if you're not used to getting nothing for it, you don't have to overcharge people. Let's be realistic. If you're okay with not getting anything for it, then you
Absolutely.
but you got a price. Because people will treat you any old kind of way when you don't have a price.
Right.
They'll come to pick it up at midnight, you in bed. No, when you go pick up their stuff,
Listen.
and then they ask you to deliver it. So don't be afraid to price your stuff. And people come to me all in that, oh, you different than your father. You are absolutely right. You're absolutely right, because y'all used to have funerals in here, weddings in here, still mics, stuff up the toilet. We're not doing that. As a matter of fact, don't hit me on the street. I got a number for you to call. Call my sister, and she ain't taking no fee. She's not taking no fever. Okay? We making it without having funerals and weddings. So if we do have one, you gonna pay. Because I don't need your funerals to maintain. God has sent me great people. And so don't be afraid. Because these people are out here doing stuff that y'all been doing.
Let me tell you.
Been doing. Cooking and all that. Been doing it.
Listen.
Wasn't the people. It came from a wicked house. So I would rather it come from yours.
Let me tell you, when I first started, speaking, and for a minute I wouldn't do it. I did it when I was advocating on behalf of the homeless, but when it got to this, people was like, oh yeah, you're motivation speaking. I'm like, y'all, because I'm coming in with something different, because you think I'm just going to teeter-totter, but I'm getting ready to get, And so at first I was uncomfortable with it, but God got me together, because he like, yeah, it's a slap in my face, but whatever. So anyway, got out there. Let me tell you when that hit me, Pastor. And my team, to this day, they still get on me, because sometimes they still be like, nah, that ain't enough, we need a comma, But someone commas. And here she went. You understand? And then we were talking about commas, we ain't get in the comma. Okay. Okay, see, I got to go to station too. But anyway, it hit me the day someone called me and they asked me to come and, to speak. And I said, yeah, and this is what I believe, Pastor. If I'm going to be effective, I ain't coming. Period. Because he didn't call me to be average. I'm getting ready to come and I'm getting ready to leave it all there, because I can't help you and help your life if I'm ineffective, right? So when I go, I give my all, right? Y'all, that's why the people that called me out and said, yeah, I'll be there. And at that time, I didn't really put a price on it, right? I didn't know no better. And so I just said, well, just sow a seed, just whatever you led to do, whatever. Once you think people will kind of take care of you, whatever. Girl, mess around. And didn't have any gas in the car to get there, but I committed to a thing. So it doesn't matter what you feel like, it doesn't matter what you have and what you don't. If you committed to it, you're showing it forward, right? Get this car on faith. I get that on faith. Why? Because I got to pray the whole way there, because the gas tank started out on me, right? I get to this place and I leave it all there. I mean, I have helped the masses in this room, right? I leave out, everything is over, and I'm walking out, and my prayer going in was that I come out with something, not to go to the mall and shop, but to put gas in this car so I can get back on the little J. Y'all, the lady put an envelope in my hand and hugged me, and thank you for blessing the people, blessing whatever. And when I walked out and I got in my car, the first thing I did, right, was open the envelope, right?
You gotta put gas in this car.
Mother, I opened this envelope and it was just pretty words on a thank you card. Okay? It was at that moment, the moment that I had to get back home on faith, because this is what I believe. There are some times that you believe your faith at home, certain things you don't even need faith for. I don't need faith for that.
Right.
It took faith for me to get here. It shouldn't take faith for me to get back.
Right.
Pastor, the day that day, I cried myself all the way home. I got home, don't know how, but I cried the whole way. And I said, God, I'll never do this again.
Right.
Somehow, this has to be a slap in your face that I go give everything that you give me to give, and I come back home barely and can't even do anything for my own family. That ain't you.
Right. But that's when we have to realize the difference between a non-profit and a
for-profit.
And a for-profit.
Absolutely.
Because when you put your money in your bank and you overdraw,
Listen.
they gonna get their
They don't get that
$35.
money. They don't
They're
get
not going, and they gonna get it the next time you hit your direct deposit, or if you got another account, they gonna take it from there.
take it from there.
Because it's a for-profit. I was a regional bank manager for PNC Bank, and people would come in. There's only but so many
Come on.
refunds I can give out
Come
a
on.
month before y'all start tapping my money.
Ken, right.
And
No
my
incentives.
bonus.
None. Come on.
It's a for-profit. So you not coming in here crying and all of that kind of stuff and saying God bless you and thank you. No. So we ought not do that to the people of God who were enslaved, and really studied. Because you started off with sacrifice, studied. You didn't want to go to the library.
Come on.
You didn't want to spend money to invest and fly and go somewhere to find out. So somebody has. Somebody took the time to be away from their children. I had to tell my mother, so my mother's my administrator. And now Brother Omar is too.
Okay.
Because sometimes Brother Omar's temperament is not, the best. And so First Lady has this thing where she just transfers the dates over to the next. And the first Sunday after the third Saturday, after the second Saturday, we go back to that church again. Okay? And I had to tell her, I said, Mom, these are Daddy's dates. And I don't think that these are my assignments. Like, I don't think that these are my assignments. And if they are my assignments, because our church has always kind of been intimate, these churches are bigger than ours.
Wow. Yeah, I hear you.
And so what they gave Daddy
ain't good enough for daughter. Now what
Or
we today?
not today.
Not today.
And so she was uncomfortable with having those conversations that, so I had to bring somebody else in that can have those conversations. And I'm not even talking about common conversations. I'm just talking about general conversations like, okay, this is a Sunday afternoon and if we gonna come here,
Right.
let's do it right. And so we have to be careful because there is a fine line. And I say all that to say there is a fine line because we are Christians.
Yeah.
And God is going to give us. So when you go to that place that gives you a God bless you, He makes up for the shortage.
It does.
He makes up for the shortage. And I'm sure whether it was the next one or 3 appointments down the line, you got more than what you deserve. So God's going to show up where somebody else fails you. So it's not for us to not even to take the assignment. If God has called us to the assignment, we have to take it. Everybody that comes to the table, a young lady came up to the table yesterday. She came up to the table and she was homeless. And she picked up something and said, how much was it? And I'm like, okay. Even if I told her how much it was, you weren't going to be able to, so I had to give it to her. And there are going to be times when people come up to the table, or people are going to call you and say, I really want to come to that conference, but I don't have the registration. And God He'll let you know if that person, He'll let you know if that person is the right person. Because that person might not have it today, but go take that t-shirt and wear it in front of 1,000 people, and then you get all these hits.
I've seen it.
Wear your jewelry and get all these hits.
I've seen it.
And so it takes money. Sometimes you have to leave it on the table. And so, I'm just at this point in my life, I've gone back to school. My master's I had to do, get some loans and things for my doctorate. I did, but I have to pay some stuff back, so I can't do everything for free.
Right.
And so we have to be careful about the assignment, and that we aren't so hungry and that we aren't so money driven, because even though my father let them people stay in there and tear up the building, never seen the righteous forsaken.
Right.
4 kids went to college and got graduate degrees
Wow. Right. That's true.
with people not even paying them rent. So we have to be careful because we're Christians and we're called to this. So, you know, but do what's right, people.
I think a lot of times as Christians, we sell ourselves short. You know we have a talent, we know a gift, we know we can bake a cake, we know we can braid that hair, we know we can bedazzle that purse, but then when we go to put a price tag on it, we want to lower down the value. We want to lower the value because we want to make sure that people buy it. But you don't have to sell yourself short. People spend that money on that Gucci, they buy that Louis Vuitton, they buy a $300 hair. People will spend their money on the things that they want. So if you know that you got something of value, make sure that you put your value on it. Earlier I preached about know your worth. When you know your worth, it doesn't matter what you value things at. It will be worth it and people will come and get it. So don't undercut yourself. Just making yourself available for other people, thinking that if let me charge $5, no, they ain't. And even if they buy it, they're gonna buy it and they're gonna complain about it. So if you feel that what you have is worth $500, maybe sell it for $500, and the people who are supposed to buy it will be your customers. You only got to sell one instead of 100. Come on, put the right value on it. You don't have to work as hard. You're working smarter and not harder. So know that you're worth it, and know that what you do and what you sell and what you have is worth it.
I want to say thank you for sharing. One word I want to mention was discernment. Since we're women of God, having discernment and asking God for discernment. Because some people say it's a spiritual gift, but I believe that if you ask God for it, it'll be able to you. Point blank period. So I believe that when asking God for discernment and wisdom, who show you how and who to work with him.
I did have a question. What was the young lady in the middle? I'm sorry. Karina. Your opinion, or everyone on the panel, if somebody is trying to figure out if they want to do a nonprofit or for-profit, what would you advise? And I asked that for kind of the same thing. My background was social services, and initially I was working with survivors of trafficking, but then I got into just wanting to help and inspire women. And as I was dealing, I guess, in the world, secular world, but in ministry as well, it's like, am I ministry or am I motivational speaker? Is it a little bit of both? And if I'm going to move forward, do I want to do a for-profit or do I want to do a nonprofit? And it's funny because I was telling my mom, I said, sometimes when you do nonprofits, people think this is a nonprofit, they shouldn't have to pay. But how?
What you're doing, we may need to have a one-on-one because of what you're offering, all right? Who is your target population? What are the services that you're providing? And so with nonprofit, when you have a program in place, right? Money still comes in. I don't know why people think ain't no money coming in nonprofit organization. You still get paid. It's just that the money has to stay within the organization. You know what I'm saying? And everything has to be written. If you're saying, okay, this is what we're doing, I have 4 staff members, it's a salary. Everything comes within the organization and it stays within the organization for the upbuilding of the organization, right? That's nonprofit, okay? When you have a for-profit, money can go out. It's like she was talking about that exchange. You can do whatever you want to do with your money in the sense when it's for-profit. It doesn't necessarily have to come back into a particular place, like the program for the nonprofit, right? So it just depends on what you're doing. Now, this is the thing that a lot of people don't know and don't understand. You can have both. Right? But you're going to have to be very strategic with how you do it because if it's for a nonprofit, if you got funds coming in, especially from an investor, all right, or funder, if it's for a nonprofit to get you 5,000 rolls of tissue for this summer camp, you better use that money for 5,000 rolls of tissue because if not, they're going to shut your whole summer program down. You understand? And so you have a little bit more maneuver room when it's for profit. You have to say, but when you're dealing with a nonprofit, especially when you start to get a federal, either local or state governments, whatever, everything has to be to the T, right? So nonprofit. When you're doing something with a nonprofit organization, everything you do is centered around the program and the services that you're providing to the people from that program, all right? And so I'll just need to talk to you one-on-one to see exactly what you're doing, and then I can tell you, okay, this needs to be nonprofit, this needs
I hate staying people who just treat you any kind of way. And I walk in ecstasy. I expect, don't lie on me. I have people, they lie on me. I'm not even there, I don't have control of it. But they lied on me. And I know this is something because they lied on Jesus. They're going to lie on me because they lied on me. But I don't want to have my customers sitting on the side of the road because I fail to maintain my vehicle. So the name of my business is gonna be April's top-notch service. Because I wanna give you the top-notch service. Whether it's, transportation, real estate, whatever. I wanna be able to give you that service that you deserve. And my name means everything. Because if I put my name on it, I'm gonna give you the best service. Right.
We have a lady in our church, and her son is the supervisor for the bus company, and we can get the bus whenever we want. Whenever we want, and she reminds me, Sister Marquita reminds me of you, because she drives the bus, and the people she drove us back from Wildwood, and I mean, oh goodness, the church members was like, when we get back to church? But I will say this about family, I will say this. What's it for? Why I gotta get my social security? I gotta make, she the one, I gotta meet with my husband. Now this is our father's property, but you gotta meet with your husband. Right. She's so I know that I gotta start with her like 120 days before the project really start, because she's very anal retentive, and the government is after us. Yes. Right. And then, my other, so no, I just wanted to impress this upon you, because this is how families bust up.
Yes, ma'am, talk about that.
This is how families bust up. You have kids, but they bust up because we go in expecting something from family members that they're incapable
Yes, ma'am.
of giving us. And God, He wants the family to prosper. But we go in putting on people in our families that they're incapable of doing. And so you have to know where to place your family members. I'm the median, I'm the organizer, I'm the planner. I'm very high level, not detail oriented. Don't give me nothing to mail. Don't give me, 60 days later, they're gonna be like, did you put that application in the mailbox? What application? I'm gonna miss all dates, I'm gonna miss all of it, okay?
You're a visionary.
Exactly. So, right, because I'm selling ice to an Eskimo. Come on here, that's what I'm doing.
But listen, let me tell you what, I really gotta close. But let me tell you why this is so good. This is something that I do with all of my team members, and I teach those that are coming up under me. It's okay that you are who you are, that you are gifted at what you're gifted at. We're not going to be gifted at the same things. Right. Now me, I hate sales, but my mom, just like this one, she will sell you your shoes that's on your feet. And I be like, how can you do that? Not detail, not all that, and so we all have different strengths and weaknesses. But let me teach you this real quick. When you are in, because we have to be mindful that this stuff is still business, even if it's ministry. Like she said, there has to be a merge between ministry and marketplace. You have to know that this stuff is business. But like she said, this is why so many families bust up, even with friends, because a lot of times we'll say, oh, you my homegirl, I'm starting this business, I'm a baker, I'm baking cupcakes, you come in every day and you do the icing. Well, she don't even like icing. She doesn't have experience with icing cupcakes. So now our friendship is jeopardized because you're not doing what needs to be done, but did you even ask her if she's capable of doing what you need her to do? You know what I'm saying? And so we can't take for granted that even if it's ministry or whatever, that is still a business. You gotta bring people in that are able to effectively train your people for what needs to be done. Even before you get to training though, you need to perform a SWOT analysis. What is that? It's a measure that literally lists your strengths, your weaknesses, your threats, and your opportunities. A lot of times we go in business and we say, oh, okay, hey, I want you to come in, I want you to answer the phone, right? And then you're going to be the one to go out and go into the community. Well, what if she hates answering the phone? Okay? When you come in the afternoon, you're going to wonder why, honey, why ain't nobody calling you? Because she got a nasty attitude. So when she answers the phone, they don't even get far because she don't, you know what I'm saying? And then she, and so the thing is, when you do a SWOT analysis, you'll see I'm capable of answering the phone, but I hate answering the phone. So don't put daughter on the phone. Y'all don't understand. Y'all not hearing me. You know what I'm saying? It's important that we do that because like she said, you got to know who labor amongst you. You just got to know. Sis ain't the one. Jan the one. John, don't send her. Brother ain't the one. We need funding, our brother. But for this, and so you have to know. And a lot of times we don't know how to find out what we need to know. Do a SWOT analysis. If you don't know how to do one, look it up, research it, get you somebody in that can say you need to have a SWOT analysis performed amongst your team so you'll know who's who and what they're coming to the table with. You build a solid team when you know that you bring this, you bring that, you bring this and that, and guess what? All I want you to do is what you bring. Boy, them people will show up for you. Oh, I love to do hair. That's all I do for you is your hair. Baby, she ain't even got to call. She gonna be there because what she do for her is what she loves to do for her. She in the jury. She in the jury. You ain't got to call her twice about paparazzi because that's what she loves to do, right? So perform these SWOT analysis amongst your team. I'm telling you because that will help you. Okay, that's gonna help you.
And that's a true statement, because that's where I'm butting heads. Because I know I got customer service skills. I know how to talk to people on the phone. I did that for 28 years with AT&T Bell South. So I know how to talk on the phone to people. But sales, I ain't running after this business now. I believe that customer service and the quality of your business and your, having reliable stuff will keep the customer coming back. I'm not running behind you.
But I am going to say this. If you plan on being a business owner, you need to learn it.
Yes, you got to.
So if in your mind, if that's what you hate to do, you have to have some level of competency of doing it, because when you start your own business, even if you get people and they don't sell, you gonna have to step in because you done purchased these money things because you don't know how you're going to need it later on. And so get all you can, as my father would say, and can all you can, because you're gonna need that when you start your business.
And as we're closing, and we're gonna close now, one thing I learned is because what's funny is I help other people plan their events and strategize, give strategy to formulate. The problem that I often find is when it's now time for me, I'm not as enthused, because it's work. I'll help work yours because I know you have to give me the layout of what you're thinking. But when it's time for me, then I have to go dig deeper. And sometimes it's the level.
Come on,
so
sis.
Like you said, the customer service. I'm a natural. I've been in retail. I was in retail for over 10 years. So I'm naturally my pleasure. Sure. I can give you all the accolades and yes, we'll help you get that. And it's a whole phone alone, let's be real. But I know how to make you feel great. For all and leave my presence. Because when it gets to me with sales, for myself, one thing I had to learn was, well, beyond just learning the strategy of sales, what type of selling can work for me until I gain the person that can help me produce it at a bigger, and that can magnify it. What kind of selling can work for you? And so that would take a moment of you learning yourself to learn what type of selling that you can do. Because I'm gonna give you a simple example. Now I'm a little red, but usually I don't talk this much. I mess with Prime America a little bit. This is me testing the waters. I did that for a little bit. That wasn't long. I did Amway. Everybody was looking at me like that. Oh, it's a whole new look now. To come up. And my mom sells Avon. Avon even comes up. When I tell people about some of my jackets, the jacket I wore today, they're like, where you get that from? Avon. And they're like, what type of Avon is this? They looking for their grandma's Avon. I told somebody.
Get so soft.
And I've been telling people I'm going to help pitch Avon's new line. This ain't your grandma's Avon.
You gotta send it into them and sell it. You better trademark it and send it in.
But people have to understand that sales it looks different for different things. And as your business grows, then your sales department can magnify. But in the basis of starting it, you have to find out kind of what works for you in the ground building of it. And I do agree with them, even at the job I'm in now, anytime they offer something to me, I take it on. And some things I really wasn't very interested in, but because it was a part of my job description, and I knew I could really navigate it for something later, let me put this under my belt. While I could. And so that's why I want to just encourage you that there are going to be things in building any business that you are not going to like. But the truth of the matter is you have to hone in and remember your purpose, remember your passion, And then, so when those moments of sacrifice comes, and those moments of having to find a drive.
Why do people follow you to Christ?
Because you have something they want.
You have, and how do you, either you
Live it? Right.
or either you tell them about it.
Right.
And so the same way, or either the same way you are, or the same way you're not, leading people to Christ, are the same skills that you can use over here. So we have to be mindful. And when you think about this whole sales thing that you're saying, what am I doing for Christ?
Being a witness.
What am I doing for Christ? And if you, because that's a product. I mean, he's our product.
Yeah.
Skill set is transferable.
It is.
And you just told me on your style, after this, I want everyone to mention their social media platforms when we're closing out. But you told me on, I'm not even into buses or transportation. As long as it moves, don't stink, and can play some music sometimes, we good. And so you told me on the aspect that you said top-notch service, because I can remember, just like when we fly, you can remember experiences that were enjoyable and the ones that are not so enjoyable. And just as you saying the name of your business, use a level. So now me as a client, immediately me becoming a potential client means that I am now looking forward to be served with this type of excellent service. Immediately you just sharing your vision and your purpose, you have now sold the concept. Yeah, the passion sells you the concept, and it makes people interested in going to be in a part. So this has been great. This has been awesome. Thank you for everyone who stayed around, everyone who has listened, joined on all of our lives, and I just everyone to mention their social media platforms. For those who are listening on YouTube, I am Elaine Janelle, and you can find me on Elaine Janelle on Facebook, and you can find me Elaine_Janelle on Instagram, or you can find us at Renew Talk on Instagram. So please do share your social media outlets so that people can follow you and purchase and learn from your businesses.
So I'm Chandra Williams on Facebook, and on Instagram I am Princess Preacher, PRNCSSPRCHR, and the link to my store is actually on my Instagram page.
I'm Karina Dykes on Facebook, and also KD The Extension. Instagram, Karina Dykes, LinkedIn, Karina Dykes, website, www.theextension.net, and you can also catch me on my radio show at jamvibesradio.biz.
I'm Angela Gresham on Facebook, GRESSEM. On Instagram, I am a messenger of _God. And you can also find me at Angela Got Cute Pieces on Instagram. And if you go on Instagram, there's a link to my store as well.
All right. Thanks again, and have a wonderful day.